Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today we're starting with something really simple, but also very powerful. Talking about your day in English. This is something you can practice every single day because every day you have new experiences, new things to say, and new ways to use English naturally.
That's right, Alex. When people are learning English, sometimes they feel stuck because they don't know what to talk about. But your day is always the easiest topic. It's real, it's personal, and it's something you don't have to memorize from a book. For example, you can start by saying, I woke up at 7 a.m., or I had breakfast with my family. It's simple, but it gets you speaking right away.
Exactly. And you'll notice that when you talk about your day, you're actually practicing two important things at the same time, vocabulary and grammar. Think about the words you use in the morning. Wake up, brush my teeth, make coffee, eat breakfast. Then in the afternoon, you might say, I studied, I worked, I cooked lunch, I met a friend. All of these are everyday words, and the more you say them, the more natural they feel.
And grammar plays a role too, even if you don't focus on it at first. When you're describing your day, you're usually talking about what you did earlier, so the past tense comes in naturally. Like, I walked to school, or I watched a movie last night. But sometimes you want to connect your day with the present moment. That's where things like the present perfect tense can be really helpful, and we'll get to that later in this episode.
Let's imagine a real situation. You meet someone and they ask, how's your day been? You could answer with something like, it's been great. I've had coffee already, I've done some work, and I've talked to my friends. Notice how natural that sounds. You're not just listing events. You're showing that your day is still happening and those actions are part of it.
I love that. And another way to practice is to make it like a daily habit. Every night before bed, you could take 2 minutes and tell yourself your day in English. You don't need anyone else there. You could just say it out loud. For example, today I went shopping, I bought some fruit, I cooked lunch, and I watched a TV show. You might feel silly at first, but this kind of daily review builds fluency so quickly.
Yes, and if you want to make it even more fun, you could record yourself on your phone. Later, you can listen and notice if you forgot something or if you can add more detail. It's not about being perfect, it's about building confidence. And confidence comes from practice, not from waiting until you think your English is perfect.
That's the truth. Another thing you can do is ask yourself questions about your day. For example, what have I done today? What did I eat? Who did I talk to? Where did I go? By answering those questions, you're practicing both the questions and the answers, which makes your speaking stronger.
And honestly, that's how native speakers talk too. If I ask you, Emma, so what have you done today? You'd probably give me a short list of activities, right?
Yeah, like I've been to the supermarket, I've cleaned the house, and I've answered some emails. That's it. It doesn't have to be a big story, just simple and clear.
And if you're learning English, that's the goal. Simple, clear, and natural. The more you practice talking about your day, the more you prepare yourself for real conversations with friends, coworkers, or even strangers you meet.
Now that we've warmed up with the idea of talking about your day, let's dive into something really important: the present perfect tense. I know for many learners it feels confusing at first, but once you understand when and why to use it, it makes your English sound much more natural.
That's true, Alex. A lot of students ask me, what's the difference between saying I went and I have gone? They look almost the same, but the meaning is a little different. The simple past is about a finished action in the past. For example, I went to the park yesterday. That action is done, it's complete, it's over.
And the present perfect connects the past with the present. So if you say, I have gone to the park, you're not focusing on when it happened, but more on the fact that it has happened and it matters now. It's like saying, This experience is part of my life up to this moment.
Yes, and that's why native speakers often use it when they're talking about their day so far. For example, you might say, I have already eaten breakfast. You don't say exactly when you ate, but the focus is that the action is finished and it affects now because maybe you're not hungry anymore.
Let's try another example. If I say I lost my keys yesterday, that's the past simple because I'm talking about a specific time in the past. But if I say I have lost my keys, the focus is on the situation right now. I don't have my keys, and it's a problem in the present.
Exactly. And that's what makes the present perfect so useful when you're describing your day. Think about someone asking you, what have you done today? The natural answer is, I've cleaned the kitchen, I've studied for 2 hours, and I've talked to my friend on the phone. You don't need to give exact times, just the actions that are part of your day so far.
That's a really good way to practice. Instead of saying, I did this, I did that, try switching to, I've done this, I've done that. It feels a little different at first, but the more you use it, the more natural it becomes.
Another thing learners should remember is that the present perfect is often used with words like already, yet, just, and ever. For example, I've just finished my homework, or I haven't eaten yet, or have you ever tried sushi? These little words make your sentences sound more complete and natural.
I love that example. Have you ever tried sushi? It's not about yesterday or last week. It's about your life in general, up until now. That's the beauty of the present perfect. It connects your experiences to the present moment.
And once you start listening carefully, you'll notice that native speakers use the present perfect all the time in casual conversations. You'll hear things like, I've been there, I've seen that movie, I haven't finished yet. It's everywhere, and it's one of the keys to sounding fluent.
So, when you're practicing, don't worry too much about being perfect. Start small. After your day, ask yourself, what have I done today? And answer with 3 sentences. For example, I've gone shopping. I've made lunch. I've read a book. That's it. Simple, short, and powerful.
So now let's bring this grammar to life with some real examples and short stories. Rules are important, but stories and experiences are what make language stick in your memory. If I just say the rule, you might forget it. But if I show you how I used it to talk about my day, you'll remember much more easily.
That's so true. Let me try one. Today has been a busy day for me already. I've answered lots of emails, I've cleaned the living room, and I've cooked lunch. I haven't gone outside yet, but I'm planning to later. Notice how I didn't give you the exact time of each action, but you can still understand what I've done today.
That's a perfect example. And I could do the same. My day has been pretty calm. I've had breakfast, I've gone for a short walk, and I've listened to some music. I haven't started my big project yet, but I've prepared my notes. Again, no times, just actions that are part of my day so far.
And that's how you can practice on your own, too. Just take 2 or 3 sentences about your day and make them with the present perfect. For example, I've had coffee, I've watched a video, I've read the news. It's short but powerful practice.
Let's make it a bit more fun with a mini story. Imagine it's Saturday and you've planned a relaxing day. You wake up, you make pancakes, you watch a movie, and you play a game. At the end of the day, someone asks, "So, what have you done today?" You could answer, "I've made pancakes, I've watched a movie, and I've played a game." Doesn't that sound like a natural conversation?
Yes, and you can even add negatives to make it richer. For example, I haven't gone shopping, I haven't met my friends, and I haven't done any work. You're not only saying what you did, but also what you didn't do, which makes the story feel more complete.
And if you want to practice even more, you can add details. Instead of just saying, I've watched a movie, you can say, I've watched a really funny comedy today. Instead of, I've had lunch, you could say, I've had lunch with my cousin at a new cafe. This way, you're building longer sentences and training yourself to sound more fluent.
Another thing learners can try is comparing the past simple with the present perfect in their stories. For example, yesterday I went to the park, but today I've stayed at home. Or, last night I watched a movie, but today I've read a book. This comparison helps you understand the difference between the two tenses while also practicing them in real situations.
That's a great tip. And remember, your daily routine is full of practice material. If you think about your day, you've probably already done at least 3 or 4 things you can put into present perfect sentences. Maybe you've had breakfast, you've spoken to a friend, you've checked your phone, or you've learned a new word in English.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to repeat yourself. Even if you say the same type of sentence every day, like, I've had breakfast, I've watched TV, that repetition is what makes your brain feel comfortable with the structure. Over time, you'll be able to add variety naturally.
Now, let's make this interactive, because learning English is much more fun when you feel like part of the conversation. Imagine we're sitting together, and I'm asking you some questions about your day. I might ask, so what have you done today? And you could answer with 1 or 2 short sentences.
Yes, and that's the beauty of practice like this. You don't need long essays, just real, everyday answers. For example, if I ask, have you had lunch yet? You can say, yes, I've had lunch, or no, I haven't eaten yet. That's it. And you're already using the present perfect naturally.
Let's try another. Have you ever tried answering questions with already or yet? If I say, have you finished your homework yet? You could answer, yes, I've already finished it, or no, I haven't finished yet. These little words make your English sound more complete.
And another fun way to practice is with the have you ever blank question. These questions are perfect because they invite you to talk about experiences in your life. For example, have you ever traveled to another country? You might answer, yes, I've traveled to Italy, or no, I've never traveled outside my country.
That's a really useful one. Let's give our listeners a few more examples they can try answering. Have you ever eaten sushi? Have you ever stayed up all night? Have you ever forgotten something really important? Each of these questions makes you practice the present perfect, and you can make your answers as short or as detailed as you want.
Right. And listeners can actually pause the podcast after each question and answer out loud. For example, if I ask, have you ever played football? Take a moment, think about it, and answer in English. It doesn't matter if no one is listening. The act of speaking will help your brain get used to the structure.
That's such a good tip. And you can also ask yourself these questions. Maybe write down 5 have you ever questions in a notebook and answer them each day. One day you might write, have you ever cooked something delicious? And answer, yes, I've cooked pasta many times. Another day you might ask, have you ever read an English book? And answer, yes, I've read 3 English novels.
And the more you practice, the more confident you'll become in real conversations. Imagine you're speaking to a new friend and they say, so, what have you been up to? You'll already be ready with answers like, I've been studying, or I've been working, or I've been relaxing at home.
That's right. This is not about memorizing a script. It's about building a natural habit of responding in English. So the next time someone asks, what have you done today? Or have you ever? You won't freeze. You'll have the structure ready in your mind.
So we've talked about how to describe your day, how the present perfect works, and how to use it with examples and questions. Now let's focus on some practical tips that you can use to keep practicing every single day. Because the more you practice, the more natural your English will feel.
A simple tip is to connect English with your daily routine. When you finish something, just say it in English, even if it's only to yourself. For example, if you've just eaten lunch, say, I've eaten lunch. If you've cleaned your room, say, I've cleaned my room. You don't need to make it complicated, just 1 or 2 sentences throughout your day.
That's such a smart way to make practice a habit. Another idea is to write a short diary, but instead of writing what you did in the past, try writing what you have done so far. For example, I've studied English for an hour, I've talked to my friend, and I've watched a video. This way, you're not only speaking, but also writing, which helps you remember the structure better.
And if you have a friend who's also learning English, you can practice together by asking each other daily questions. One person can ask, "What have you done today?" and the other can answer. Then switch roles. This doesn't need to take more than 5 minutes, but it's a really powerful way to get used to using the present perfect naturally.
Another thing that helps is noticing English around you. When you watch a movie or a TV show, listen carefully. You'll hear sentences like, I've been waiting. I've seen that before. I haven't decided yet. Every time you hear it, pause and repeat it out loud. That little practice adds up over time.
And remember, mistakes are part of the process. Don't be afraid if you mix up past simple and present perfect. The key is to keep using both, and little by little, you'll start to feel the difference more clearly. The important thing is that you're communicating, and that's always the goal.
That's the truth. English becomes natural when you use it daily, not when you keep it only in your notebook. So try to bring it into your real life. Talk about your day. Ask yourself questions. Notice how native speakers use it, and keep repeating.
And of course, if you want more practice and tips like this, keep listening to our podcast. We love sharing these lessons with you, and we want to make English simple and enjoyable for everyone.
So if you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, follow us for more, and share it with a friend who's also learning English. The more you practice together, the faster you'll grow in confidence.